and welcome to the 6th module of the unit devoted to the instrumental approach in the project ICMAI Awardees Multimedia Online Resources. As was announced at the end of Module 5, this module is devoted to the extension of the instrumental approach to dynamic geometry. I prepared this module with Colette Laborde, a well-known researcher in the field of dynamic geometry, who has been directly involved in this extension through her investment in the MAGI project, Learning Better Geometry with Computers. You can see pictures of Colette and of the MAGI team on this slide. When the instrumental approach began to disseminate in the early 2000s, dynamic geometry already had a long history, initiated with the Sketchpad and Cabri Geometer software. In many countries, curricular documents recommended the use of dynamic geometry system, DGS, and it was even compulsory in some countries, in secondary school at least. This was the case in France, where Cabri Geometer had been developed by Jean-Marie Laborde, starting from a software designed for researchers in graph theory. The essence of dynamic geometry is movement and its computer reification in terms of dragging. A foundational idea of the Cabri Geometer project, for instance, was that dragging brought a new dimension to the solving of geometrical problems. Dragging allows to check the correctness of a construction. This construction continues to respect the constraints it has to satisfy. Dragging allows explorations impossible in paper and pencil environment, especially to discover property consequences of those used in the construction of the figure. The pair, validation, invalidation, exploration, has thus founded dynamic geometry. Progressively, however, research has evidenced the unexpected complexity of dragging. On the one hand, observing students' problem solving with DGS, researchers discovered the diversity of the possible uses of dragging, beyond those anticipated by the software designers. For instance, at the PME conference in 2000, Lulu showed the heuristic power of what she called soft constructions, fulfilling only part of the requested geometrical constraints. 2 years later, in an article published in ZDM, Ferdinando Arzarello and his colleagues distinguished 7 different types of dragging: dragging test, wandering dragging, bounded dragging, guided dragging, demi-locus dragging, line dragging, linked dragging. On the other hand, researchers discovered that making sense of dragging was not at all obvious for students. It required specific and often long-term learning processes, highly dependent on students' geometrical knowledge, especially with regard to the goals assigned to dragging and the interpretation of its effects. The extension of the instrumental approach to dynamic geometry helped make sense of this observation. The MAGI project, which started in 2003, has played here a decisive role. This project dealt with the teaching and learning of geometry at primary school and at the beginning of middle school in France. It had 2 main goals. First, to identify the possible productive use of dynamic geometry at this level of schooling, and to design an appropriate progressions of tasks and situations. Second, to study teachers' practices with DGS and help them develop the necessary knowledge and expertise to efficiently manage such situations in their classrooms. As it had been the case in Luc Trouche's thesis, the instrumental approach was mainly used to investigate the instrumental genesis of dragging by focusing on the concept of scheme, schemes of use and schemes of instrumental action. The instrumental approach was also combined with the theory of didactical situations, TDS, regularly used in dynamic geometry research in France since its emergence. TDS supported the design of tasks and situations involving different types of dragging. Such a design requires identifying didactic variables, choosing appropriate values for them, and organizing an appropriate didactic milieu. The associated a priori analysis tries to determine to what extent all these choices may affect the students' mathematical activity and opportunities for learning. In the frame of the MAGI project, a study was carried out over the whole academic year in 2 grade 6 classes with the new Cabri Géomètre software, Cabri 2+. In this module, I will focus on 3 crucial situations for the progression envisaged. These have been extensively analyzed and discussed in the thesis by Angela Restrepo. The first situation is based on a puppet called Geo, reproduced here with Cabri Express. This situation is not, strictly speaking, a geometrical situation, but it is used in the progression to familiarize students with the use of the mouse and to support the development of the basic scheme of use underlying all dragging schemes: clicking, keeping the mouse pressed, and dragging. Students in this situation have to find how Geo can be modified. In fact, the construction is rather sophisticated, with many invisible links. For instance, one can move the pom-pom by grabbing either the circle or its center, and this only impacts the pom-pom. But one can also drag this point of the nose, and this time both the nose and the hat are modified. The fine-grained observations carried out of these situations showed the accessibility of the basic dragging scheme of use at this level of schooling, but also the influence of students' geometrical conceptualization of their dragging activity. For instance, all started by moving 2D shapes, not the red points, and it seems that some of them would have never tried to move these red points without the teacher's intervention. This is in line with what is known from research regarding the conceptualization of geometrical figure by young students, and with the idea of dimensional deconstruction due to Raymond Duval. The second situation is Pageron, whose aim is to introduce dragging as a tool for invalidating constructions, thus to contribute to the development of a scheme of instrumented action, involving the dragging scheme of use, of course. Students are asked to put back a wheel to the car, shown on this Cabri file. In the observed class, all students began by drawing a circle outside of the car with a circle tool. They adjusted its size by comparison with the other wheel and located it at the right place, like this. Then they moved the car, but the wheel did not follow. This made clear to them that the construction was not valid. In a second attempt, they tried to attach the wheel to the car. And for that, they created a new circle, locating visually its center and clicking on one marked point of the car, as I do here to construct it. When moving the car, the result is even more surprising than in the first case, as you can see. The experiments carried out showed that at this point, the teacher's help was needed to make students aware of the necessity of constructing the center of the circle as midpoint. However, according to Restrepo, this situation played a crucial role in the instrumental genesis of dragging and became a reference situation for students. The third situation I would like to evoke is now a geometrical situation, named always true, sometimes true. It aims at making dragging a tool both for invalidating and validating constructions. In this situation, 3 geometrical figures are proposed to students, who are asked to decide whether the following properties are always or sometimes true. The lines DG and BC are perpendicular. The line DG and EF are parallel. The line GF and BC are parallel. As you can see, the 3 cases lead to different answers. But moving only one point is not always sufficient to identify the invariance of the construction. With a pink figure, for instance, moving just D can let think that the 3 properties are true, which is not the case. The observations carried out along the academic year showed a clear hierarchy in the development of the dragging schemes for respectively invalidating or validating a construction. The second needing more time to be developed and efficiently used by students in an autonomous way. They also showed the essential role played by collective discussions and the resulting institutionalization that for validating a construction through dragging, one needs to move all mobile points. More globally, this research showed that along the academic year and through the diversity of situations proposed to them, students progressively developed and consolidated various dragging schemes, each of them having partly specific operational invariants. These operational invariants mobilize both geometrical concepts and theorem in actions, such as a rectangle is a quadrilateral with 4 right angles, and associated rules of action such as to check that a quadrilateral is a rectangle, show the measure of its angle and check that the measures remain equal to 90 degrees when moving the mobile points. Rule of actions might be also more general and shared by several dragging schemes, such as the following. To validate a construction or conjecture, one needs to check that it is preserved through the dragging on any mobile point of the constructions. Research also showed that operational invariants and associated rules of action in terms of measure, expressing equalities of measure of lengths and angles, appear first. Summarizing, this study made possible the identification and fine-grained analysis of the different schemes progressively developed by students and of the associated operational invariants. It confirmed the diversity of dragging schemes, their hierarchized intervening and dependence on situations. It confirmed the strong links between geometrical conceptualization and the instrumental genesis of dragging, as well as the complexity and long term of the genesis. At the end of the year, all students didn't still master all forms of dragging they've used, and for instance, dragging for validating a construction or conjecture. Research showed the essential role played both by the situation and the teacher to make this instrumental genesis possible. This role of the teacher was well explained in the contribution of the Massey researchers to the ICMAI Study 17, Digital Technology Revisiting the Terrain. Thanks to this pioneering research work, it was found that the relevance of the instrumental approach was not limited to the professional technologies imported into mathematics education that had motivated its emergence. Instrumental genesis of technologies directly designed for educational purposes, in close interaction between computer scientists and didacticians, were also complex and long-term processes. The question of the institutional management of these genesis also was posed. Once their complexity and the crucial role of the teacher in them had been attested. This role of the teacher, already pointed out in the previous modules, would become more systematically taken in charge by the instrumental approach, both empirically and theoretically. This will be the subject of the next module. Thank you.